What's up, guys? So the new Apple TV 4 came out about a week ago, and I've had some time now to play with it and just to go through things and compare it with my previous generation Apple TV, the Apple TV 3. And first I'll go over some of the biggest changes, which is obviously the remote. The remote now has 6 different buttons on it. I'm counting the plus and minus for the volume. So 6 different buttons, and plus they have a touch area that allows you to swipe, to click, to scroll, anything like you would do just kind of like on your iPad or your iPhone. It kind of works similar with the remote. It also has integrated Siri into it, so you can say Siri commands. However, the Siri commands are kind of limited to finding certain shows, or find me a comedy or a drama or a horror movie. It doesn't really have, like, I'd like it to be able to say, like, oh, look up this, or kind of like Google does, hey Google, do this or that, or look up this on the internet. That would have been kind of neat, but it doesn't do that. But I'm sure over time it will get more capabilities. But also with the remote, it's rechargeable. It uses a lightning connector, so no longer have to change the batteries on this. And just overall, the remote it's a definite improvement. I really like the interface, the scrolling, the buttons, the volume buttons especially. You can turn like the TV up and down. And another big thing is that the remote is Bluetooth 4.0. So you no longer have to have your Apple TV box exposed. You can just point this or have it behind your back or in a different room and still be able to connect with the box. Now this remote also has a built-in accelerometer and gyroscope, and this is for gaming and maybe just other gesture-related apps in the future. But for gaming, I was able to actually download one game. It's probably the best game that I found in the Apple Store. It is a racing game, and you drive it by just moving it left and right, kind of like you would a steering wheel. And it actually worked pretty good. I'm not a huge gamer, but for what it was, it actually worked really good. And I think I was racing against other people who were playing online, and it was just a ton of fun to have that integrated into the remote. Now the Apple TV 4 still does work with the previous remote. It does have IR capabilities. So if you wanted to use your older remote with your new Apple TV, you could do that. Now also, the remote is packed with a ton of different shortcuts. Sure, there's only 6 buttons on here, but holding one down or double pressing on the home button allows you to scroll through apps. You can scroll through apps just like you would on the iPhone or the iPad, which is really neat. And just other ones like starting the screensaver. You can switch the keyboard by simply pushing the play pause button when the keyboard's up. So there's just a ton of different shortcuts with the remote. Now the Apple TV box itself has changed a little bit. It's bigger for one. They got rid of the audio output. Now there's just the power input, HDMI input, the mini USB, and an Ethernet. So if you wanted to direct connect this, you can direct connect this to your internet, or you connect via Wi-Fi. So setting up the Apple TV 4 was super easy. Actually, I turned it on and it prompted me to go to my phone and turn on the Bluetooth and just hold it close to the Apple TV. That's all I had to do, is turn on my Bluetooth. I didn't have to go into my settings to connect it or anything, and it just started working with my phone, and I completed the rest of the setup just right there from my phone. Now the interface has changed a little bit in ways you work with the remote, but for the most part it stayed the same. Some of the big things they've done, they've added the settings where you can go in and actually change a whole slew of things. We have, just like on the iPhone or the iPad, you have things like general, accounts, audio and video, AirPlay, remotes and devices. You can actually hook this up with the universal remote. Which is neat. We have the apps. We have an app store now, which is totally awesome. There's going to be millions of apps going into the Apple TV as soon as people just start making them. I'm sure. Right now, though, the app store is kind of limited. One of my things I was looking forward to is just the games and stuff like that, just to sit around while I'm playing when I'm bored or whatnot. But the games, like, there was one good racing game. The rest of the games were really, really simple. I mean, I could probably make the games if I just tried. They're kind of like the old games like Snake and Pac-Man. So nothing too exciting on the gaming end quite yet. But back to the interface, we do have the App Store. And you know, there are useful apps, and even for like business related, if you have a TV in your business and you want to do certain things like get live tweets or just have stunning aerial screensavers, they do have one of their things that they're pushing now is the aerial screensavers, which I believe upload every day or week or month, and you can choose, and that way you never have to change your screensaver. It basically does it for you, and aerial videos is what they're using. So that's pretty neat. Aerial videos are awesome. They let you, you know, it's all mixed with drones and all that, so it's pretty cool. You get some cool scenic on your Apple TV, and you don't even have to keep, you know, updating. You can set it to update by itself, or you can use pictures if you wanted to share them from your iPhone or your computer. You can do you know, slideshows and things like that. Now, of course, with the Apple TV 4, it's super easy to mirror anything on your iPhone, your iPad, or your computer right to the TV, as long as you have an Apple product. So it's the same thing. It's super easy to mirror. There's actually a little icon that appears on your phone or tablet, and then you just mirror it right to the Apple TV. You can also use it as a second screen for your computer. So many uses for that. Something else that's really neat is that the Apple TV 4 supports Bluetooth. So this means that you can put in a pair of headphones or hook this up to a Bluetooth speaker and hear the audio that's coming from the Apple TV directly through the speaker or the Bluetooth phones, which would be especially useful if someone's sleeping and you're laying right next to them. Just put in a pair of headphones and you can hear what's on the TV. Some of the things I don't like about it is that it doesn't have the Amazon Prime. It does have Netflix and Hulu and a bunch of other ones, but it doesn't have the Amazon Prime on there, which is kind of a bummer. But overall, I like where the Apple TV 4 is going. I can't wait for more apps to get in the store. There's more apps appearing every day because I've been checking, but I've actually gone through every single letter in the App Store, which I'd never be able to do on any other Apple device right now. But that's how few apps there are actually available. But overall, for the price, it is a little bit expensive. There's two different versions of this. There's the 64 gigabyte that costs $200, and then there's the 32 gigabyte that costs $149. So a little bit steep there, but if everything keeps moving and going, I think this could be a really awesome TV interface. One thing I do also wish they would add, I wish a lot of these companies would add, is to have some kind of direct feed where I wouldn't have to switch back and forth to my cable box. I could just maybe plug the cable box directly into the Apple TV. Maybe that's already possible, I don't know. But anyway, there is a overview of the Apple TV 4th generation. Put a link in the description. That's that. Thanks for watching.